All right, man. Look, we live. Y'all ready to rock and roll? This was up. We back from the nation's cap. We got a special guest in the building for the Inner Pocket League, better known as the All Season Champ, aka Tony. Welcome, sir. Let me be the first to say welcome.
Hey, thanks. It's my second time on. I was on last year.
Right. We did. Look, on Monday night is
Oh, for real? I must have missed that week.
Yeah.
Okay. Jose was the only regular consistently on Monday night.
That's how you feel? It was like new edition, Joe. You have man, you got 4 on them. You all right? You got 4. You got no edition, dog. You know.
Oh man, so Tony, look, man, let's look. We're gonna get into the week's performances, but let's recap this debate y'all or the discussion y'all was having about this matchup you had with Terrence this week. You was going when it came into the week 7-1. And look, you got anybody left playing tonight?
No, I don't.
Oh man, so your Terrence feeling real good about himself.
I think Mixon did in the end. It don't even matter.
He did a lot of folks in.
Yeah,
he did a lot of folks in. Him and
I thought he had the Patriots.
Devontae Adams.
Thank you, Jose. Appreciate
you. All right, man. Look, let's jump right into it and recap this string. It was only 10 games on the main slate anyway this week, but we were not without some monumental performances. And shoot, to jump off the slate, let's start from the quarterback standpoint, man. Justin Fields jumped out the gate with 42.72 points. He is obviously their starting quarterback and their best running back, apparently.
Sure.
You know,
he almost had 200 yards.
Man, the boy had 178 yards rushing, 1 rushing TD, 3 passing TDs. Which one of y'all played Cole Kmet this week?
He on the waiver wire.
Yeah, he on the waiver wire. I wanted to.
He should have been, but man, he should have been on the waiver wire. But this performance, I don't know if they're gonna continue to do the little pop passes and on the goal line. He might be a waiver stash coming up or pickup. Justin Fields actually bested Pat Mahomes, who ended up with 35.14 points, had 446 passing yards. One passing TD, and he gave you a little bit of running this week. 63 yards rushing, 1 rushing TD, and then the usual suspects round out the top 6, where you got Josh Allen, Tua, Geno. Man, Geno still giving y'all top 6 performances, top 5 performances week in and week out, man. Jalen Hurts. Barrow, he was the first one under top 10, but he's under 20 points. He had 19.14. Then Murray, I don't even know if you can count Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins in the discussion, but they both had 18 and 17 points respectively. Man, from the running back standpoint, I guess it was only really one. They say it could only be one number one, and Mixon was number 1 by a long shot. And all right, so turns. So you got Joe Mixon, right? This goes back to our debate that we had about the league format, right? Whether you're head-to-head or total points. And this is a prime example of why in Gene's league, why he said that like no one's ever run away with the championship. Because if you had somebody like Mixon, the way their points are set up, Mixon gave you 80 points this week in his league.
Yeah. You know, and it's funny because I noticed that I thought our league is way higher than this league, but some positions are stronger in this league, like the receiver position for some reason. And when I get time, I'm gonna look at them and figure out how come the receivers are getting more points in the podcast league and then
return yard.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
A lot of times it's the bonus. So like you have a reception over 50 points. That's a bonus. A touchdown reception over 50 points is another bonus.
Okay. Yeah, because receivers in our podcast league, every other league position across the board is higher in my league, but in this one, for some reason, the receivers I noticed are a tad bit higher. Okay.
So my question is going forward, how is it just a turnaround for Mixon, or is this a blip on the radar? I'm hoping y'all say it's a turnaround, because then that gives me hope that my boy in Pittsburgh can somehow turn his season around. He killed Najee Harris. He killing me in every league.
Yeah, he don't have the talent though. Like he's not that great. Like I told y'all before the season started. Like the thing that made him good last year is just his usage rate.
Right. And
he don't have a passing game to take away from him. He's not a person that can like will his way to yards. You know, he's not that fast. He's not that big. He's just okay.
So what you're saying? I should give up hope?
Pretty much. Yeah, like he's done. Unless a 29-year-old Ben Roethlisberger walking back through that door, yo, it ain't happening.
Man. Kenneth Walker, he's still showing a big game performance. He had 26, basically 26 and a half points. Travis Etienne finished up 3 with 25 points. Derrick Henry, he basically is their offense for Tennessee. Austin Eckler had a costly fumble late in the game, but he gave you, his all-around performances again with 20.6 points a game. This game. Cordell Patterson, he came back and finished with a top 6 performance so far for the Falcons, which didn't bode well for my who was it I picked up? Was it Huntley, I think? But other than that, Josh Jacobs, he we'll get into some of the ball of the Bama's for the week. But and then so what's the thoughts on Devontae Adams? He had 31 points. But I think it was he had 31.6 points for the game, but I think he had 30 at halftime.
Yeah.
I thought he had all 30. Yeah, my league was.
He might have had all 31.
Yeah. And he didn't catch it because I got him in my league. He didn't catch a pass. He had 10 catches, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns first half. I'm like, oh yeah, he about to go for 80. Man, he ain't catch a pass. They didn't even start talking to him to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I could have used him.
Weird, yo. That whole Josh McDaniel thing is like, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Josh McDaniel, but without Brady, yo, it's just a different. Yeah, he's just, I don't know.
They gotta play Patriots next week, so he might come out, with different game plan or whatever, trying to beat Belichick. But I mean, the Devontae Adams
Patriots on bye next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you put one of my numbers, Jose. Rod got 1, I got 2. There you go.
All right, man. Let's just I just highlighted some of the top performers of the week. But
they play Indy. Sorry, my bad.
So now real quick, right? Because I know we got sidetracked. So the Devontae Adams thing, though, like I mean, he had to be due because he had 1 catch for 3 yards the game before. So you knew that they were gonna make a conservative effort to try to get him the ball.
Yeah, you called that, Eugene.
But the question was like, so they got him involved, but were they trying to win though?
I didn't see the game, so I don't understand like how you could get him 10 receptions in the first half and 0 the second. Like I'm not sure what they did to him, but you would think that you would give him like a flash screen or a quick screen or a bubble, like anything that at least to get him a touch. Because clearly you had 20-something points with him touching the ball, and you had 0 in the second half, which correlated with him having 0 catches. So I don't.
That's your man.
Anybody watch the game? Did anybody see the game?
No, I didn't watch it, but that sounds like McDaniels.
Look, I'm gonna say that's your man, Gene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me, but he did. So because I was looking closely because I had him on one league. He had 10 targets for 10 catches. 10 for 10. And then he had his targets didn't move for like almost the whole third quarter. And then he finished with 17 targets with 10 catches. So it was weird. Like they forced it to him maybe late, and he went 0 for 7 for his next 7 targets. It was just a weird stat line. Like it was strange the way it happened.
All right, man. Let's jump into some of these games. We have Philly over Houston 29-17. Just looking, Pierce ended up with 139 yards rushing, right? But with no touchdowns, he only ended up with basically 14 points, 13.9. That's on half PPR. right? So yeah, Damian Pierce was a standout, and that's pretty much it from Houston's standpoint. I'm looking at from receiver. Dorsett had 3 for 69. Moore had 4 for 43, but had a touchdown to add to his total. And of course, Philly, Jalen Hurts, efficient as usual, 20 for 27, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gave you 23 yards rushing as well. Saunders gave you 93 yards rushing with a touchdown. Dallas Goedert, man, led all receivers and targets. Had 9 targets, 8 receptions, 100 yards even, with 1 touchdown. AJ Brown gave you didn't eclipse 60 yards, but did give you a touchdown for the game. What's your thoughts on Devontae Smith? Yeah, Jose, you think he's just kind of like a boom or bust, or what's the situation right now? Because I think that's 2 weeks in a row where he's
not the focal point. He's only the focal point when you got a defense that's bumping, locking down AJ Smith and Goddard. He's the third one in line. So like if they're going like a shootout, he's gonna get his points. But if it's just a regular game where it's just gonna be AJ and Sanders and Hurts, that's it. That's my point of view.
Yeah, somebody had offered me, and Gene, matter of fact, that person was Purdy, offered me Devontae Smith, T.J. Hawkinson for Mark Andrews. And I was like, I just wasn't convinced with Devontae Smith.
I would have took that.
What? Mark Andrews? I mean, Mark Andrews, you talking about the number 2 tight end in the league?
Hold on. Hawkinson
had a this is before this weekend.
Right.
So Hawkinson had a decent week this week. But prior to that, remember we were talking about at paintball, how Purdy was picking people up and then trying to deal them to you after somebody else dropped them. So that was the Hawkinson move. He picked them up.
Oh, Hawkinson was on a waiver wire?
That's a good example. He tried to sell high on Hawkinson.
Right.
Hawkinson probably had that one good week. Try to unload him.
So because he got traded, right? So it was like he was trying to get me on that. Like, yeah, he's gonna get put into the mix right away. I was like, nah, man, I can't. Unfortunately, Andrews ended up sitting out this game. But let me see. Next up, we had I don't know what's going on with the Chargers. Any Tony, what's your thoughts on Herbert? He 30 for 43, 245. I will give him this week. He didn't have anybody to throw to other than Eckler. All his other receivers was hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, coming into the season, Herbert, he was the like the next man up, the next superstar quarterback. I feel like he is overrated, a bit overhyped. I don't even know if he has a 500, winning percentage for his 2 years in the league.
Herbert?
Yeah.
So I respectfully disagree with that, yo. Like, and here's why. He was underhyped coming into the league, right? He was the 9th or 10th pick. He was just like a dude with potential that they were like, he had potential, but he wasn't going to be great. Then his first year, he earned his reputation. And now he doesn't have any receivers, though, right? Like, so I get what you're saying. Like, you're right, but I don't tend to put records on a quarterback. Like, his performances have been good the last 2.5 years. He just doesn't have they just haven't been winning. And now he doesn't have any receivers. So what you're saying is absolutely true. But in context, I don't think he's overhyped because he didn't really come into the league with any hype, really.
Once he took over for Tyrell last year, that's when the hype machine started. Like he showed flashes. He had some good games.
Right.
He had the numbers. But if you take a step back and look at it, from a bigger picture,
right?
When it comes to these close games, they find a way to lose.
No, that's true.
You can put that on. You can put that on kickers. You can put that on a coach.
Right, but it's always tagged to the
What's the most
quarterback.
important position? What's the
Yeah.
most important position on the football field?
Yeah, the quarterback. Yeah, that's true.
Like just remember, look at the game, that Raiders game last year.
Right, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true. I just feel
like
like that he more so earned it more so than he got it put on him. You know what I mean? Like I felt like he was really that good, and now I'm just not willing to throw him to the side because I feel like he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to.
Oh no, not at all. I wouldn't. You know, I'm not saying he's a bum. I'm not saying that you can just discard him. He certainly has like the physical tools, but when it comes down to winning games,
Yeah, nah,
making that clutch pass. Also, think about it. I mean, he has Chargers is a talented team, from Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Gerald Everett, Eckler. I mean, they have talent around them.
Yes,
but I mean, they find ways to lose games.
Yeah, sooner or later they are gonna have to win because they haven't made the playoffs yet, have they? Since he's been there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, they was close last year. I mean, they're gonna be right in the thick of things this year.
This is second year.
It's third, right?
Yeah, I believe it's third year, right?
This is third year.
It's third year. Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm just thinking like if some spots, like I said, this game is a little bit of an anomaly because he didn't have any receivers, but he had some blow spots that he should have taken advantage of and just destroyed. And
right.
I haven't seen him put his imprint on the game this year.
Right.
And I know since he had that one time when he got injured, he had that when he toughed through and played through that injury in that early on in the season. And it's almost like he ain't been right since.
Definitely.
To an extent.
And just to finish this up, didn't they miss the playoffs with a good record like one year? Like were they like 10-6 or something?
That's when they had
that was last year.
It was last year?
Last year when they played against the Raiders and whoever won was gonna go to the playoffs.
Right,
and I believe that game went into overtime and Raiders ended up winning.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the record was 10-6.
Okay, it could have been 9-7 or something. Yeah, I'm about to try to look it up now.
I mean, I think for his career, like all of the teams been hovering around 500.
Yeah, like you're right. It was 9-8 last year.
Yeah, I mean, he got the physical tools. Believe me, I will take him on the Commanders.
But so
right now,
they could have had him.
So I feel like the Chargers are somewhat like on the flip side, Indianapolis. They have talent, and they've been looking for somebody to come in and be their quarterback, right? They had Matt Ryan. They didn't work out this year. Previous they brought in Wentz or whatever. And I feel like the Chargers, they were looking for a quarterback to go with their complement of the players. They found them, and it just hasn't turned into what they expected to turn into. Now, Indianapolis, they still searching, and they have talent. But for some reason, the Chargers can't seem to get over the hump for some.
I think it's because the head coach. I think once that whole offensive coordinator the offensive scheme is not working for them right now. I mean, they don't look in rhythm. They just look off. They look undisciplined.
Right.
He remind me of Kirk Cousins. All the potential.
Who?
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Don't put that.
Listen, he got all the potential. He got all the potential.
Don't insult the man. Don't insult the man.
Listen,
don't get me started with Washington fans and the Kirk Cousins. Hey, I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and let this one ride. It's weird. The Kirk Cousins thing is weird. Like it's so weird. I've never seen something so weird in my life, yo. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Washington fans and Kirk Cousins.
Only thing I'm gonna say about Kirk Cousins is he won a few bonus points with that plane ride performance.
Right. Hey, that joke was
shirtless Kirk. But to finish this game out, man, Eckler he gave, like I said, he peppered you with he had a rushing TD. He got his 9 targets, 7 receptions, and a receiving touchdown. But he had that costly fumble. Palmer stepped up. I don't know any of you guys had him or not, but he had 8 for 106 on 10 targets. So he did get his had a nice day. On the latter side, we had Cordero Patterson come back. His rushing he had 13. He ended up with 17.8 points. and had PPR, but he only had 44 yards rushing, but he got the goal line carries. So he had the 2 touchdowns as well. From a receiving standpoint, interesting enough, Drake London, their two best receivers, Drake London and Kyle Pitts, got the most targets, but which is 7. But neither one of them must have more than 2 or 3 catches between the two of them. So their pass game is still terrible at the moment. Let me see. That's pretty much it on that. On that game.
Algier though, or Algier.
So he had the second most carries. He only had 10 carries, but he averaged 9.9 yards a carry. He had 99 yards.
Yeah, because I seen him on like on a high. I think he had like 12 points in our league or whatever. But
yeah, so I gambled wrong. I had Huntley and I don't know if it's this league or another league that I was hoping could get those carries, but Algier he turned his into almost 100 yards because Algier had 10 carries, Huntley had 7, but only had 34 yards.
I'm telling you right now, I'm officially done with Kyle Pitts. I'm no longer going to start him. I'm sorry. Give all the potential in the world, but he is done on my list. I'm betting him.
You're a couple weeks too late.
Yeah, I know. So look, hey Tony, you know what happened? He had that one game. Was it last week? And he scored a touchdown. They gave Jose hope going into this week.
Hey, look, he gonna tease him just like Mixon, just tease Terrence.
Hey, Mixon every week started for me, so
but he's been disappointing all year.
He's been
like not.
Yeah. He ain't been Jonathan Taylor disappointing, but he's still, he's serviceable. He ain't been first round pick.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this Green Bay Detroit game? Is there anything that we're talking about?
Aaron Rodgers don't want to play no more.
I've never seen somebody
he be out there fake getting mad. It looked like he mad at the receiver when it's his fault. Three interceptions in the red zone. Like, I understand he don't have no receivers. I get it. You know what I mean? It's no receivers, but he 3 interceptions in the red zone. What you gonna do? Come on, that's you. At some point, you gotta look in the mirror and say, I gotta do better.
He looking in the mirror. He doing this. RELA.
He took ownership of it though. He took ownership of the interceptions. Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay. That's good.
He said it was him.
Yeah.
Oh man, so he continues to disappoint. The only other thing I gotta say is Lazard. He had a nice game, but I think we know he's not a number 1 receiver, right? So he's kind of playing above his. He's punching above his weight class at this point. He did have 87 yards. He got 10 targets, which is double anybody else. And he had 87 yards, 1 touchdown. He's a one bright spot if you happen to start him. But other than that, it wasn't much going around. Amon-Ra, St. Brown didn't do much in his return, and he's supposed to be fully healthy.
Coming after concussion, like I said.
Yeah, but you was worried about him getting another concussion, though. You wasn't worried about him not performing.
I was worried about him not performing. He get a concussion, he won't perform, right?
So look, the next game was points plenty from a fantasy standpoint. Miami, Chicago, 35-32. Man, we talked about Justin Fields and his basically. I don't know. Did Michael Vick ever do 178?
Nah, he broke. He
set the record.
Yeah. I haven't seen that ever. So
really, I thought Lamar was close. Okay, maybe
that's
not.
what I thought. But
I thought Lamar had 200. Or was that a playoff game? Let me see.
No, they said he broke the record.
This what I didn't realize. What is it? So Cole Kmet, he was a bright spot from a receiving standpoint. He had 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions. Mooney had 7 receptions, but still under 50 yards. So, but he did get he had some TD deodorant going there because without it, his day would have been basically subpar as usual. But I think basically Chicago man has figured out. Look, this young boy, he you see a young dude come to the court and or Jose in your case come to the flag football field. He just getting finished playing college, and he still got all the energy. He bouncing around.
He still got those lungs.
Yeah, he still got those lungs. He running post routes every chance he get post corners. Oh yeah, the basketball court. He's still trying to catch everything and dunk it. So they're like, look, man, this dude, you might as well just let him do his thing. You know, we're not gonna make him a pocket passing. So I know from a fantasy perspective, Justin Fields owners are excited. Tua continues to do his thing, man. 300 again, three touchdowns. Basically, man, it's the three amigos between him, Hill, and Waddle.
Yeah, but also, man, Jeff Wilson started like I didn't expect him to get like those type of carries, but I did expect him to get like a split.
I mean, it was even. They both got 9 carries. Most ended up getting a touchdown, but Wilson looked better with his carries.
Wilson had 51 yards receiving, right? Or 51
yards. 51 yards rushing, and then he had 3 catches for 21 yards, and he had a receiving touchdown. So
man,
yeah, Wilson came in. He's like plug and play in that system.
Yeah, quick note to go back real fast. Yeah, I was right, but I was wrong. It was Colin Kaepernick in the playoff game. He got 181.
180. Okay, but it's a playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Panthers Bengals. We talked about Mixon, right? In his record day. Bro, he was efficient with his 22 for 28 with a tub. I mean, I guess you can't. I don't know if you can really ask for much from a receiving standpoint when you had Mixon just basically doing it in all facets. Between he had 4 receptions, 58 yards, and then 22 carries, 153. From Carolina's standpoint, they end up pulling PJ Walker and bringing in Baker Mayfield. It didn't help my boy DJ Moore at all. Who said DJ Moore was? I think that was you, Terrence, right? Was talking about. He said if it wasn't for that touchdown, he wouldn't have had a pedestrian day.
Yeah,
last week. And damn, if he ain't come back down to earth.
I mean, I think that's PJ Walker.
Any chance they bring my man in the game? What's his? They just pulled off IR. They activate him off an injury. Sam Donald.
I don't even know. Right now, I just seen on the TV it said that Walker's about to start. He's still going to start.
Yeah, I didn't think they pulled him for performance.
They did. Well, he was 3 for 10, 9 yards. So an injury.
I mean, they were just getting dominated. I mean, even I made a mistake and played for. I don't have Foreman on my bench for the past 2 weeks. Watched him go off. I finally put him in, and he just.
I was getting ready to ask anybody found him.
Michael Carter goes off.
I know. Dang.
Yeah, and Michael Carter. Because I was trying to decide. I was like, I gotta cut one of these mammals.
Man, that Spam Foreman killed so many of my DFS lineups. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, he gave me 3 points. 3 points. I said, like, I figured at the very least he was good for double digits. And he gave us nothing. All right, man. What's the next game? Raiders Jaguars. My boy Travis Etienne. He got busy. 109. His average wasn't that great. He had 28 carries, 109, but he gave you 2 touchdowns, so you can't be upset about that. Christian Kirk finally got in the end zone and had a decent day. With 8 receptions on 9 targets with 1 touchdown. On Vegas side of the ball, we talked about Devontae Adams in his first half dominance and only to disappear in the second half. Another person that killed me on and DFS was Jacobs. I figured he had opportunity to go off, just, to have a decent game this week, but he had 17 for 67 yards, no touchdowns. Oh, man. But it goes back to basically between Adams and Jacobs, those only 2 starters that you see. What's the timetable? Waller coming back? He's still nursing that hamstring.
Man, you might as well put him in a line of pits.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. That's the one. Early round, tight end that you the draft the pitch is actually outperforming, and that's because Wall ain't played.
Yeah, you might
Anything? Oh, go ahead.
Foster. You might well pick Foster Monroe, the backup tight end.
Right.
The Raiders.
So look, we saw what New England defense did to the Colts, and Jose, you brought up they fired Frank Wright, right?
Yeah.
This is one thing I thought about. You were saying that they made the playoffs last year, but if you think about what they were doing early on, remember they had Nyheim Hines get most of the carries, I think, before they actually started playing. The main running back. Before they started playing, because remember Taylor, he didn't start his run until a few games into the season, and it just so happened that he caught 5, but before that, man, Frank Wright, the offense was a dud to start last year, so I think they look, man,
But they start? I think they started winless last year.
And I think they might have started winless last year.
Yeah, I think they were like 0-3, 0-3, 0-4 last year.
Yeah, they went 0-3, and then all of a sudden they went on a run with Jonathan Taylor.
They started giving the ball to Taylor.
And they had 2 tight ends that was going off. I remember sometimes I couldn't pick which one. I know Cox and the other guy was going off. They were like alternating.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also easy to go on a run in that division when you're playing against the Texans twice a year, Jaguars twice a year.
I don't think they made the playoffs last season.
No, they didn't.
They lost to the Jaguars in that game they were supposed to win. Like it was supposed to be an easy game, and they lost. And then right after that, they was like Wentz is done, and so.
Well, I think that's there you have it, Jose.
Yeah, but how you hire Jeff Saturday? Like, why you hire him? Like he was a consultant for them, and he was an analyst.
So Doug Williams,
yeah, that's right.
It's a PR stunt,
a PR move.
Yeah.
No, I thought
let's check.
So Jeff Saturday wasn't on the staff, right?
No,
he was a consultant.
He was the worst.
Cause he was doing wasn't Jeff Saturday doing like radio appearances and like ESPN stuff?
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, that's all the owner right there. Yeah, like I thought.
Don't it feel like that?
Yeah, I was like, what I missed? I was like, hold on, I ain't know Jeff Saturday was on the staff. I thought they was still on TV or something. Like,
he was.
They tanking for the first pick.
Oh, who's the first pick though? Like, that's another thing. I was thinking about this watching the games the other day. Sidetrack. Like, think about tanking for the first pick, right? When does the first 5 quarterbacks, like the first 2 or 3 quarterbacks, like when has it really, really mattered, yo? Like, just think about it.
Look, I would say so Peyton, when Peyton got picked, it was when Peyton got picked.
But no
it
one
was
tanked for Joe Burrow though. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. Remember that year? It was Peyton and Ryan Leaf, right? They were supposed to have been the two surefire, franchise QBs, and so it worked out for Peyton. But that's you still 50% if you tanked and tried to get one of those two.
Right,
it's still a coin.
So let's just go back like 5 years, right?
Wait, did the Colts tank for what's the boy name?
Andrew Luck. Yeah,
right.
Andrew Luck.
But that was about 8-9 years ago, though. Right, Luck paid off. Mm-hmm. Burrow got lucky because he just had a good last season and last playoffs, right? So no one really tanked for him, right? Uh-huh. Like, I mean, if you look at the last 20 quarterbacks in the first round, maybe 2 were good and 1 was great.
Wasn't it like a tank for Tua thing going on
before he got hurt?
Yeah. Before he got hurt.
Yeah. Then he got hurt, and it really wasn't.
He had the hip injury, and it was all these questions.
Yeah. Like, look at all the great quarterbacks. Right, like right now, the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, ain't none of them except Burrow. Probably none of them is like a top 5 pick, right? But home second round, Josh Allen from Wyoming. Who else?
Who's that?
Like,
I think Josh Allen got drafted top 10.
late. Nah, he was like 23rd or something, 22nd.
Who was that?
Lamar
I missed the
Jackson.
name. Lamar
he
Jackson.
had the
What about Trevor Lawrence?
On-field quarterback draft. Right, and he ain't that good.
I mean, it's
You
the
ain't
second year.
had to talk about my
Second
guy
year,
like
you
that.
Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback. He had the highest grade since Andrew Luck. Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah. I'm looking, and the crazy thing is Geno Smith was the number one pick. Was the number one pick, and he just now getting the opportunity.
No. So my theory is just keep drafting quarterbacks. Second round, third round. I would just draft quarterbacks every year, yo. If I ain't had one.
I think I think to an extent, I think most teams, unless you got a what you would consider a franchise QB like a Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Burrow, right? A guy that's producing and they on their first contract. But I think most teams, unless you got a guy like that, they're already looking at their next quarterback when it's time to re-up on their the rookie deals for the most
10th
part.
pick, first round.
10th, right? And they moved up to get him. Okay. If even Kyler Murray struck him, but none of them was considered to be transcending top 3, almost can't miss prospects. They almost never work out. Wentz, Goff, Kyler Murray.
So I know with Kyler Murray, he had all these changes, but I felt like it was
Hold on.
They were
Kyler
intrigued
Murray?
by
Kyler Murray is a bust.
I mean,
no, I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying that when he came out, it was like, okay, he's small, but he got all these intangibles in terms of being able to run. He got a strong arm, but I never felt like it was like he was a surefire, guaranteed.
I think Kyler Murray has been underwhelming. I wouldn't consider him a bust.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Exactly, that's the perfect way to.
I got a different perspective as a Commanders fan. I'll be looking around like,
yo,
that's the bus. He's underwhelming.
Y'all don't have it like y'all. You know what? All Kirk Cousins Commander haters ain't allowed to talk about quarterbacks in me. Yo.
You just said Kyler Murray was not that good or whatever,
you were saying Kirk Cousins was good.
Like, I don't know, man. We know what it is.
Don't take it out of context.
Do I gotta say it? Do I gotta use the H word?
The context is that you're better off just drafting quarterbacks that you like as they come than tanking and trying to or use resources to get these top 2 or 3 quarterbacks. That was my point. Like Kirk Cousins was the 4th round. He was fine.
Right.
Kirk Cousins was fine.
So I mean, to this day, Kirk Cousins, based on where he was drafted, is outperforming his when he was drafted.
Best quarterback. Look, you can argue, right? You can make an argument, and look, they're gonna go crazy on this. You can make an argument that Kirk Cousins is the best Washington franchise quarterback since Sonny Jurgensen.
Gene, quiet. That's it. You trying to get our emotions stirred up. You know what you're doing. You're trolling.
Who's better?
You trolling.
I would
say Brad Johnson had a better career than Kirk Cousins in Washington.
Hold on. You said since who?
No, he didn't.
He said since Sonny Jurgensen.
Sonny Jurgensen?
How many years?
No one had Super Bowls since Sonny Jurgensen?
3 or 4. Huh?
We had 3 Super Bowl winners.
And Kirk Cousins?
He's
right. You're right. That was gonna get us riled up, but you're not gonna get me.
Name me.
Don't take the bait.
Don't take the bait. Stay in the pocket.
Mark Griffin 1 year. Mark Griffin won.
No, because he came back next year and they lost. He came back next year and they lost the divisional to. Didn't they lose to was it San Fran in the playoffs the year after that?
Huh?
Nice.
Right.
Huh?
Okay. Yes of that. And then you had
So Kirk Cousins ain't make the playoffs. He not in no discussion to talk about anything great. The greatest at anything.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
I mean, look at the dysfunction of the franchise. Look. If you
Man,
look,
let's
hold on.
No. Keep it going, Roddy. Keep it going.
Let's give a look into the Baltimore game real quick. Baltimore 14-3. Last right now we're looking at New Orleans. They got 3 points. So much for the Andy Dalton situation. I need a so what's up with Kamara? He got 5 carries, 15 yards, 2 catches, 13 yards. They can't get anything done. Baltimore at the moment, Lamar Jackson, which I need is has one passing touchdown and 39 yards rushing. Kenyon Drake is picking up the slack as far as he got 9 rushes, 33 yards, and 2 receptions. No. Not much up going. Baltimore's up 14-3 at the moment. Trying to see. I'm not sure. I'm not actually watching. I don't have my second computer up, so I don't have. I'm not actually watching the game. Anybody watching it at the moment? I need to turn.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Anything?
You know, Drake just had a nice little run.
Any chance Winston get a job back?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. If
they put up there looking motivated.
If they put up just 3-pointer, I think they got to take a look at him, right? If it don't get better than this, because he killing my boy Olave. I need him to do something. Oh, I'm looking at Likely. He did score. So that's one note. Who's filling in for Mark Andrews? They likely got 1 catch on 3 targets with a 24-yard touchdown. So that's not my note. All right, man. Let's get back to where we got.
Matter of fact, let me ask you this question right with Likely, since y'all brought up Likely. Right?
So.
Go ahead. So, all right.
Go ahead,
so I had to play. So I'm playing somebody, right? They had Mark Andrews. I didn't pick up Likely until Friday, right? Because he still was showing questionable. On Saturday, they made him doubtful, right? But I don't need Likely. I had him on the bench. I just wanted, just in case I couldn't get the other person, right? Is it bad behavior or is it what's it called? Unsportsmanship by picking the player knowing that if he went down, he would need a tight end. And I picked
for me, this is an answer because we deal with this in James League. I think it came up again this maybe a couple weeks ago. But I think that's gamesmanship, right? Like you pick, a guy that you playing need a tight end, or I mean, even from the standpoint if you weren't playing him, if you knew it could be a trade, chip, and so you pick him up, right? And say, for example, the trade didn't go through, and you didn't need him, and you dropped him. I think that's fine. What I don't like, and what Yahoo talks about, is just start picking up a bunch of random positions and then dropping them just so people can't. They're not eligible to be picked up for the weekend for the Sunday split. That's what I think you get.
I specifically got it so he won't pick him up, just in case he didn't get it. Like I did that as a owner's decision. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just my advantage I can get.
We had an issue with people picking it, like, so you pick them up on a Friday, drop them.
I picked them up Friday,
drop them, pick somebody else up and drop them, so that way they don't clear waivers until Sunday or Monday.
That's dirty.
Yeah. Yo, I don't even know how to count the loophole. But look, here's the thing, Yahoo, because we had a big debate on it last year, so like we had to go to the fab budget, but so Yahoo actually, because I had to look it up being a commissioner, because it was creating a lot of tension in my league, and they're still doing it this year. But for real, like a lot of tension, yo, because our league know each other, so you can really get to somebody in our league. So Yahoo had a statement that said that they advise against it. It's not in good sportsmanship, and they don't support it. And it's funny because the people in my league still like Rodney was just saying, like they use the term like that's gamesmanship, like that's like something that they should be doing. I'm like, nah, like that's a loophole. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of dirty. But
look, quiet as kept. We got an offender in the group that was famous for doing that back in the day. I ain't gonna name no names. We leave guilty.
I mean, hey, if it ain't in the rule book, you know what I mean? Like, it's all part of the game, man. That's
as Curtis would say, Rodney, if like you ain't cheating, you ain't trying,
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's what are we doing here? We trying to win, or like, I mean, Belichick out here recording people,
I think that as our pot got bigger, like that's when the tension got higher, because we never had tension until our pot got so big. I think now it's at 2,800 total. So like once the pot got bigger, then it's just like now it's just serious now. It used to be fun. Now it's just serious.
Ever try to get that Christmas money? But that
if I get that joint, I don't even need to buy an student loan joint. I'm good. I'm like, I don't even need my relief. Go ahead, just give me this joint.
Yeah. Right.
Nah,
So so go ahead.
I was saying, back in the day was even worse when you had to vote for when you could veto a trade and they would take a vote.
Oh,
it was like it got to a point no trades went through because everybody was like, nah, ain't nobody doing nothing.
Yo, my league
that's how Gene League is. They don't want let that go through. That's because that's because we don't trust certain folks in the league to make trades that won't just totally tip the balance in the entire league.
Slim, you could trade Slim, you could trade the worst tight end in the league for the worst guard in the league, and then God don't even count 12 points, and then veto that joint. I was like, it just get vetoed. It could be Clint Didier for Ed Too Tall Jones, yo, and then still veto that joint. Like they don't care, yo. They don't want nobody to rise, yo.
So check this out, right? So most recently, I think Terrence and Jose, we've been telling y'all it was this one guy who's been taking advantage of dudes who don't know how to manage their rosters, right? And he been coming up like he came up last year on some like real unbalanced trades. So he happened to make a bad trade this year, and Bama's went in on him. Like he gave who was the thing? He gave away Hopkins for Madison, I think. He gave away DeAndre Hopkins for Madison from Minnesota and maybe somebody else. And so Bama was like, look, hold up, you held on to Hopkins for all this time during the suspension, or during the time he was out, just to give him away for what were they saying? They was saying like they gave him away for like a
bag of chips or something,
a bag of chips, some snickerdoodles, cookies.
He said
they been hammering the dude.
He said for like a gift card to somewhere or something. But look, real quick, yo, and a serious question, and I want all y'all to chime in, yo. All season champ, I want to hear your opinion on this. Is the trade veto, in your opinion, for a strategic purpose or just to weed out shadiness? Because I don't believe anything should be vetoed if it looks like it's legit.
I think only the commission should have. I think commission should only have veto authority, and I think most trades should just go without it being vetoed, unless somebody's just doing something real reckless.
And that's how it was in my league at first. At first, I had veto power, but I felt like it was too much power, so I took it to the vote. And now I'm kind of wishing I wouldn't have done it. So, What about you, Terrence and Jose?
I mean, I think the commission should have it. I don't think anybody else be a veto, because the thing is, a lot of people think, oh, that's not fair, or that's not a good trade, or some people think that's a good trade. It just come down to the commissioner, Because when you got too many opinions, then all of a sudden now it's a veto and it doesn't go through when you really need that trade. You feel like sometimes I feel like I make fair value trade, but it might not look or make sense because my theory is that, hey, I'm trading you value picks for your star.
Right. But
you may not see it that way, but I know my points, my value picks are going to give you points that's going to make up for that. But people don't see it that way, and they'll veto my trade.
Right, and that's my point though. Is like it shouldn't even be that you don't like a trade, right? Like it shouldn't even be like someone should be able to veto it just because they don't like it.
No, they be just thinking that I'm gonna rip them off. That's what they just they be thinking.
That's even more reason why people shouldn't be able to veto a trade because everyone, they got different values for these players.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't need to open it up.
Different and like tensions. Like if I play you next week, or if we playing total points and you right behind me, then I'm vetoing your trade because I don't want you to like to catch up. Right. Hey, we driving Rodney crazy because he be on this strict time limit, and I know.
Last point with that. But I've seen trades get vetoed even by the commissioner, and then 4 weeks down the line, it looked like that would have been an even trade. You know what I mean? Because things like switch up or whatever. So I don't really think. I think it should just be the commissioner, it should just be, it got to be something egregious, just like.
So quiet as kept, people in our league is like politicians, like they be lobbying other people to veto the trade. Like they go behind back for text messages and be like, you got to veto that joint. And I'm like, nah, I'm not touching nobody's trade because when it's my turn to trade, I don't want nobody messing with my trade,
But if you sitting at number one and you try to trade, ain't nobody gonna help you. Everybody gonna veto that joint. So
I was gonna say, anybody in the league like that's leading the number one in the league, they are definitely targeted to get their trades vetoed. Folks like, I don't need you to get no more. I don't want your team to improve at all. Like unless they see your team dropping a few points, and they not trying to help you at all. But but this leads to my question, right? So I was glad this kind of came up because I want to ask Tony what his thoughts is. I asked you guys in the pocket league. Has there been one trade at all this year? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it has been. Nope. So Tony, what's your thoughts behind why there haven't been any trades? Why we don't see more trades happening in the league? And I guess before you answer that, have you attempted to make any trades at all?
No, I mean when you sit in
the 7-1, you may not.
When you sit in the number one spot, you really don't have to make any trades.
I know the feeling, brother.
I am surprised that Jose ain't sending no trades. Jose be the main person sending trades.
He do.
Have you seen any trades, Jose?
No, man. I'm happy with my team. My 5-3 is a deceiving 5-3. I really should be 7-1 or at least 8-0.
You sound like Gene.
Yeah, you sound like me, yo.
I got the most points. I'm the CBC champ.
No, I don't have the most points. I'm willing and dealing right now. I'm playing the waiver wire, doing the free agency, doing the Sleeper King motto, and I'm trying to win on that, right? There was a trade sent to me by Terrence, and I saw it, but by the time I tried to look at it, it was already rejected. I mean, it was already pulled back.
You mean like 3-4 days later?
Yeah,
he let that joint sit there. He let it sit there. I was like, oh man.
Hey, look, he pulled one of the moves. Go ahead, Tony.
To answer your question, I think there's less trades in this league because your bench is so short. So you only hold 3 people on the bench, so you got so many people on the waiver wires that you can turn your season around by picking up somebody off the waiver wire, as opposed to that person being on your bench or being on someone else's bench.
I think you made the best point so far as to why people aren't trading as much. But Terrence County, you kind of mentioned that too before. You was like certain people that were in the waiver pool he was like, man, those guys should be on the bench somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's people cutting. I'm just scooping up people. IU, Lockett. I mean, Lockett is a top 12 wide receiver. Why is he on the waiver wire? You know, and now we going through these bye weeks. It's about to be a whole bunch of more people on the waiver wire. So I got my little $80.
Yeah, I see Tyson Hill just threw a pass to Olave.
A touchdown and ain't helping.
All right, man. Look, let's let me see. What was that?
Yeah, you haven't even brought up the Buffalo and Jets game. Like, really? I know we've been off topic.
No, we haven't got. They actually next. So they were beneath the Colts and Patriots game. So Bills and Jets was the next game up. So look, so I think the Jets are, to Jose's point he was making earlier. I think the Jets, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Colts are kind of in the same boat where they got a bunch of talent on their team. It's just a matter of whether or not they can get the quarterback to lead them to it. And apparently they didn't need it this week because Michael Carter, he had 12 for 76, and
Garrett Wilson went off.
Garrett Wilson went off. He had 8 for 92, and I thought he was left for dead. I just knew because I think I had him at one point in time and let him go because Wilson looked so bad. I was like, man, he never get another nice game. But Robinson had 13 for 48 yards. All told, they ran for 174 yards on the day with one touchdown. But they did enough, man. I think they kind of just punched Buffalo in the mouth on the defensive end side of the ball, where they had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Right, it didn't turn over into a lot of points, but they they held Josh Allen pretty much. He had 2 interceptions, 2 costly interceptions. Even though he still got busy on the ground with 9 for 86 and 2 rushing TDs. Diggs had 5 for 93 on 10 targets. But there were no touchdown passes this game for Buffalo, and Jared Allen was basically he was the offense, right? He kept him in the game and he cost him the game because he had 2 touchdowns rushing and 2 interceptions on the day. Any takeaways from that Buffalo Jets game?
Man, Jose called it.
Do you have Wilson or did you have? I thought you had one. Who you had? Carter.
I cut Carter.
Oh, you cut Carter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had him at first and then cut him. But I cut him because he had the bye week. Then the next week he got the Patriots. But I gotta disagree with you on that. I don't think the Chargers and the Jets are the same. I think if the Chargers were 100% healthy, they got much better quarterback play. I don't believe in the Jets.
Well, I'm saying no. From the quarterback, I think the Chargers they definitely have a better quarterback. I'm just saying quarterback was standing they have equal talent on both the defensive side of the ball and offensive side of the ball. They got
without Breece Hall.
Well, I don't know if you can say without Breece Hall because
Zach Wilson is
that was a big loss. But Zach Wilson, I ain't seen it either. That's why I cut Wilson because I was like Zach Wilson ain't gonna be able to get it done. But they were able to play with Buffalo, and I think a lot of that had to do with their defensive personnel, to be honest, and the ability to run the ball. Let's see. Next game up was the Vikings and Commanders. Oh man, Heineke, man, he giveth and he taketh away. But I think he is what we feel like he is. He's definitely an NFL caliber quarterback. But he's a gunslinger. I think we saw with the Samuel catch, right? You do it in triple coverage. Which should have either been knocked down or intercepted, but it worked. But then later on in the game, he put one up and ended up being an interception. So let me see. The bright spots from the Washington Commander side, we had Samuels and that big catch that he had for the touchdown. The one nice thing I still like is the fact that he keeps McLaurin active in the pass game. We had 9 targets, which is 5 more than Samuels had. On Minnesota side, Kirk Cousins 2 touchdowns, 265. Justin Jefferson, man, I was all set to start texting y'all, and when Washington was making their run, and Justin Jefferson had up to that point only had 1 touchdown, but hadn't done much from a yardage standpoint. Then he scored that bomb, and I had to erase my whole text message. But he ended up with 115, 1 touchdown. Hawkinson, man, I can't remember the last time the Commanders, the football team, the Skins, whatever you want to call them, I can't remember the last time they covered a tight end in the NFL game. Hawkinson came in first game, 9 targets, 9 catches, 70 yards.
You talking about ever or just recent?
Just in the last, I would say in the last 15 years, they have been a series.
Sean Taylor?
Say again.
Sean Taylor?
How long ago was that?
That was a dang. You might be right. It might be 15 years.
They haven't covered the tight end since. But I don't think we learned anything new. They did do a good job on the ground game, but Cook was able to catch that 1 touchdown. Any other takeaways from this game, Tony? Anything that you saw?
Man, I don't even watch Commanders game anymore.
I completely understand.
Dude, that's my team. That's my team and all, but I can't. I just watch Red Zone channel.
Man, that's it.
I invested too much time watching Commanders. Too much disappointment in my life.
Man,
we got a Cowboys fan on the line, man. We kind of keep those talks in house. You know what I mean?
That scene in the early 80s, like 82, I had a chance to go left or right, yo. And I went right, and thank God I didn't go left. I thought it was the bad choice for about three of them years, but after 91, it clearly was the right choice.
Well, you say 82? That explains all that great.
I probably, I mean, I've been a fan since like nobody else on the podcast, right? I'm the same age as everybody on the podcast. I just don't use just for me, you know. Everything just. But look at the hair, though. I don't know what happened, But yeah.
So look, next game up, Seattle, Arizona. Like we talked about before, Geno still doing his thing. 2 touchdowns. He had the one interception that was kind of egregious, but Walker to KW3, he's still getting busy. 109, 2 touchdowns. Finished the day with 26 points. Tyler Lockett and Metcalf. Man, I'm looking at Geno's distribution from the receiver standpoint. Walker had 4 catches. Lockett 4 targets. Lockett had 5 targets. Metcalf 6 targets. Fant had 6 targets. Metcalf, Lockett, and Fant all had 5 catches. And Fant led everybody with 96 yards receiving. I don't think he didn't give us a touchdown, which both Lockett and Metcalf got. On the Arizona side, I was looking. Zach Ertz ended up with 1 touchdown. Hopkins didn't have the yardage this time, but he still ended up with a touchdown. He had that touchdown deal on his day to save it. Rondell Moore had the most targets and most catches. He had 10 targets, 8 receptions, 69 yards. So, any takeaway from this game, fellas? Anything new?
Hold on. So Tony got to leave. Get out. He got to leave soon. So I want to say, man, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for
we
having
didn't get to talk too much about our game, but you know, it was a good one.
Hey, if you make it to the playoffs, I'll see you there.
If I make it, you said if I make it. If I okay, yeah. Nah, I like that. I like that. See you in the playoff.
Hey, Tony, I appreciate you coming on, man.
I'll see you when it counts. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night, man.
All right, man, take it easy.
Oh man, anything on this Rams? I mean, this Rams Tampa Bay game. Brady looked terrible.
Well, like you say, Tom Brady's
basically,
back.
he had that one drive. Anything else? He threw 58 passes and didn't have over 300 yards. I'm not quite sure what to say about that. He had that one drive. He looked terrible all game, and that one drive he came alive. I think Jose, you mentioned Otten as a stand, and he had 5.
He was my sleeper.
In the touchdown. He was the only touchdown catch that Brady had. Stafford still stinks. Cooper Kupp is basically the Rams' entire offense. We know that. I don't think we got to say anything else about Los Angeles. Titans Chiefs. We talked about Pat Mahomes. He giving it to you both on the ground and like he softened up, man. He 446 yards passing, 63 yards rushing with a touchdown. Kelsey and Juju look like they're making a nice tandem. Both of them had 10 catches, over 85 yards apiece. Juju with 88, Kelsey with 106. I think those are only two. I think right now Juju is submitting himself as the top wide receiver. Obviously, even though McCall Harmon had the one touchdown, Juju has definitely been consistent over the last couple of weeks.
So I do want to make a note.
What's up?
On Kadarius Toney. He
2
is
catches, 12 yards.
Yeah, but I saw the game and he looked confident and solid, and he is now officially on my Sleeper King waiver.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Thank
you. On Tennessee side, man, there's nobody to really talk about other than Derrick Henry.
Not gonna talk about Willis.
He had 7 points, but he had 5. He was 5 for 16, and he had 40 yards rushing.
Man, he got 2 games under his belt, man. He looked.
Listen,
I think Tannehill lost the job.
I think he lost the job. I agree with you.
You are talking to a man who is starting him in the league. So that tells you the level of confidence I have in him. Or the level of desperate I am in that league at quarterback. I don't know how you want to look at it. The one thing I'll say, man, is Dontrell Hilliard. If I know in the pocket league, we don't have that many bench spots to be really fast anybody, but if Henry goes down, then we know he getting all the carries. But then again, I don't know what the offense will look like. Well, you got to run because Malik Willis, they're not going to let him throw the ball. Man, so that's it for the games. This week's slate of games, and let me see. So look, you got your 2 or 3 waivers. Who want to go first? Don't all raise your hands at once.
I mean, I always got mine ready, but I'm waiting for everybody else to go.
Jose, hit him with 5, and see if that wake him up.
Man, I just froze. Man, I just had it. Oh, one person is in the upcoming one is Deshaun Jackson. I really think that he is going to be one of those tweeners where Deshaun Jackson for the Ravens right now he's playing. I really think he's going to step up. Tight ends, of course, you got to go with Otto. I think he's going to be the new Gronkowski on for them. And this other person too. Oh, Mooney. I really think he's going to start stepping up. I really think he's in a lot of. I don't think he's rostered too many places right now.
Receiver for
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really think he's going to get up. And then Dulich, Denver tight end. His name is Greg Dulcich.
Greg Dulcich.
Dulcich, yeah. Definitely.
Dulcich, I think it is.
Yeah. I like his play, and if anybody drop Jeff Wilson, I think you need to scoop him up. Who else? Kadarius Toney. I think you need to pick him up. I really think he's going to start getting involved in that offense. Just the 2 plays that he caught, I just saw a little difference than what I've seen from when he was in Giants. And then Bollinger, which is from the tight end from Giants, when he comes back from injury, you need to scoop him up, put him on injury reserve, and just have him stashed, and he'll be the leading tight end once he comes back. Yeah, you need more. Oh, Allinger, just because Patterson's back, keep Allinger.
No, that's good enough.
I mean, I would say Deion Jackson too. I think they're gonna test him out. I think Jonathan Taylor, they look like they might shut him down for the year. So you got a chance to have.
Yeah, if they keep Ellinger back there, they probably like.
Yeah, I mean, why put him out there? You already showed you fired the coach. You got rid of your quarterback. You just traded. You benched him for the year. Jonathan Taylor banged up, so you showing that you ain't really trying to do nothing. So you might have might be some points there to get it started running back, because he don't have anybody behind him. I think they got Zach Moss, but that's it. So.
All right. The only one I have to add to that would be I'm gonna go back to somebody I mentioned a couple weeks ago, but he may be in for an opportunity coming up soon, and that's Wan'Dale Robinson for the Giants, right? And then he had a break last week in Week 8, where he had 3 for 15. But he has Houston, Detroit, and Dallas coming up. So maybe opportunity to stream them. My other pickup would probably be, I mentioned Dontre Hilliard. Like I said, if you have an opportunity to stash him in case of Henry going down. And then I also like
Terrence,
in deep leagues, like 14 would be.
I drafted Kadarius Toney.
Would be
and then cut him and pick him back up.
Sorry, Ronnie, my bad.
Rude.
Rodney, what are you talking about? What is it?
What else did you say? Oh, so Dontre Hilliard and Rachaad White would be my 2 running back waiver ads. Depending on
White from where?
On what your bye week situation look like. Rachaad White from Tampa Bay.
All right. Oh, yeah, the running back.
You got Eugene?
Yeah, I had a
but Rachaad White running back from him.
Ottoman.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think it's Carson Wentz's job when he come back, or y'all think he's gonna ride with Wentz? Because if not, if so, I think Wentz is a good pickup just to stash if you can go a week.
If you in a 2 quarterback,
man, that's a good question.
Quarterback cost.
I got Wentz in my IR spot in my one league. So from a fantasy standpoint, I wouldn't be mad if he started, but I think the teams just look better, man. I don't know. I could be wrong. I think they just look better. I think they play with different with Heineke.
Even though they can't get,
I think they have a different. I think they. I don't know. It just seems to play.
They got different energy.
So I just feel like they got a different energy when they out there. But that could just be me. I wasn't a big Wentz fan.
No. I mean, I think that's fair. I think I had that's why I asked the question, because in my mind they were way better. And then when I was listening to Kevin Sheehan this morning, he was making the point that the team is way more energetic and et cetera, et cetera. But shit, if you look at the way the defense been playing, they should have won every game. But they were what they did, I'm gonna say yesterday, but they only scored no more than 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of one of those things, it's like, is the perception really reality? But yeah, so him and the other one would have been well, everyone picked up Michael Carter now. He's in 85% of the leagues.
Shoot, he on our waiver wire. I had to
Really?
cut him.
And Robinson.
Yeah. So those are two that I would rock with.
One receiver I forgot, he's on bye week, but his name was Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's 22% owned. But the thing is, he is giving you consistent 12 points average, like 12 point, 13 point. If you need somebody from like a bye week, he is consistently getting catches. So for targets. And the thing is, would you pick up Deshaun Watson if he's still available?
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot, if he out there, you only got to hold
right.
him for
When
like
he
2
coming
weeks.
back?
He come back in 3 weeks, I think.
I ain't even talk. You the league is not looking forward to him coming back. And they must have sent the memo out to all commentators. Everybody did not mention that he's coming back, yo.
I'm paying attention because he might be that swing because you need somebody on 15, 16, and 17 to win your championship. And he might be the player.
Sure, y'all right, yo. My bad, real quick. Yeah, I see why he might caught on the waiver wire. Yo, you can't drop nobody, yo.
You can't.
Like it's just like the bench is so short.
But I mean, in my opinion, in our league, like so, for instance, somebody, I think the person who paying you, Rodney, they decided instead of dropping somebody, I guess they liked their team. They just played a 0, and I don't think that's a good strategy. You know what I mean? Like,
I've done that before. I've done that this year.
But I don't think you can do that if you not in the top 6. You know what I mean? Like, if you need to win.
No, because think about this, right?
She just gave a win, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's the thing is, if you have a solid player,
that ain't that the person? Is that the person you playing?
Mayhem, Chris.
Oh, Mayhem did that. Who he had? They didn't have a donut.
Let me see. Oh, it's you, Jose. It's you. It's you're the person you playing. They play Denver. And I mean, they got a chance to win. They got a chance to win. Like,
who got a chance to win? They got a chance.
No, they would have had a chance to win if they would have played the defense. In my opinion.
Oh, they did. They went blank on defense.
Yeah, they went blank on defense. I guess because I was looking at that bench, I was like, maybe it's somebody on that bench they don't want to cut. So
yeah, if Higbee went off, they definitely would have won.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, I will never do that. I will always take a win. I will cut somebody, and that's why I cut Carter, because I will have to cut him next week anyway.
So I play with. As long as
I would make the comment that I was gonna drop the bag on Carter, but then Terrence reminded me that I don't got. No,
you ain't got no bag.
I'm hoping that nobody pay attention. I can get in there on my waiver. What's the name? My waiver number.
These bye weeks, I can't even hold them. I mean, I guess I could cut Kadarius Toney, but that's my playoff play. I'm hoping he gonna kick in around playoff time.
Yeah, so you're doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm picking up players that's gonna get me through the playoffs. But Gino, he don't look that far. He already got a solid team.
Well, fellas, it look like it's a wrap. Week 9 in the books. I got work and kids tomorrow. Somebody decided the kids get off school because
voting.
You got to get out there and vote. So I'm gonna need all the rest I can get. But anybody got any parting shot before we get out of here? Look, other than go vote if you haven't done it already.
Go vote. That's it. You said it.
Yeah,
Man,
no,
this,
vote.
this gonna be an interesting time in our nation's history. So, gotta make your voice heard. All right, fellas, y'all be easy, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Man, have a good one.
Later.
All right.
Peace.